So hello and welcome fellow coin collectors to a 1931 penny video, and this one is actually going to be about the actual dropped one. So here I have a group of pennies. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've actually the drop one. We have one that's actually normal, and then we've got 1921 to actually compare it. So if you're not too familiar, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the actual one at the end of the date. So there, 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 and there. And if we actually compare the actual two coins, the top one is the drop one, and the bottom one is actually the normal one. So you can actually see how the dates pretty much align with the actual center of the actual coin. This one doesn't. If you go up, it aligns, somewhere on the right side of the actual coin. So you can actually see how that is a dropped one. So it's actually classed as either rare or scarce, depending on the obverses, and we'll have a look at the obverses soon. So here is in 1921. And this coin doesn't have a drop one, just has the actual normal. So you can actually see, you should be able to see the differences. So the actual 1931 and 21 on the bottom are actually the same. And if we move that to the background, you can see how there is a differences in the actual one. So that is something that you should look out for when you're actually getting a 1931 penny. The drop one also occurs on the half penny, but it's actually quite common. The normal one on the actual half penny is what you need to look for. So totally the opposite of what you're looking for on the penny. And the florin also has a raised one, not a drop one. So that's actually an error you should actually, or not an error, a variety you should actually look for. So these are varieties, not errors, because, well, they've been deliberately made like this, and it's actually something you should actually look for. So the mintage of this is 949,000, so it's not a high mintage, it's actually quite low. And these grades here, so this one's probably in VF condition, it probably sells between $20 and $30 for a coin like this. So if you actually got a drop one, you definitely will be paying a bit more than the normal one. So these coins are not too scarce, but there is also a rare variety. So what am I looking for? So here we look at the O, M and N, and if you, okay, let's get steady. So this one, the N goes up in between denticles. That is the London variety. Then you have the Calcutta variety. So I've only got a 1918 penny. So 1918 has an I underneath. But this one, if we look at the O, M and N, you can see the actual, it lines up with the actual denticles. So in between the denticles, with the denticles. So you need the Indian one to actually, for it to be the rare version, so line up with the actual denticles. So this one is the London. It lines up between the denticles. Let's have a look at another one. So this one is a nice patina. Drop one. A little bit corroded actually. You can see the condition this side. This one, yep, lines up in between the denticles. Then we have this one. Also nice condition. And you should also check for other type of errors that you can actually find, like die cracks, doubling of the N in between the two ends there, and dropped. So that's actually, and this one is a London. So even though it's actually good to actually find a London, they're actually not too scarce. So another drop one. I actually got these for I think about $25. But per coin you're probably paying in this condition probably about $15 per coin, 10 to 20 in between, give or take a few dollars. So that's a London. So has scratches on it. Probably mistaken for die cracks, but I don't think it's a die crack. Just scratch goes around the coin, and it's probably just gunk there. Yeah, a bit damaged. Any? No. So let's have a look at the third one. So no, drop one. Look at the end. No, London. And no, there isn't ever errors that I can actually see. So it's actually a nice coin. Let's have a look at this one. So this is the normal one. Any other errors? Nope. And that is the London variety. So for alignment coin, they're actually pretty good. And let's have a look at the 21. Nothing there. Nothing there. Oh, and that is, oh, it's the Indian variety. Okay. Didn't notice that before. Anyway, so that is some type of coins that you should actually look for. 1931 drop penny if you're going to buy a penny. So basically, in very fine condition, if you can pick it up for under $10, then it's actually a good bargain. So usually to sell for, you know, between 10 and 20 for VF condition, and a lot higher if you want a better grade. So let's have a look at some values. So here we are on all coin values. You can see 9.45 grams, 30.8 millimeters. So if it weighs less than that or more than that, there is a variation. I think it's like probably about a gram or so is the tolerance. So you got the mintage, harder date, got the values here. So VG is $5. So these ones are in probably VS. So this has got 38, but you're not going to really get $38 for that coin. And if we, so here I actually have some sold items on eBay. So this is the normal one, $15. Probably in, let's have a look. Is that, it's probably in fine condition, it looks like. Yeah. So let's go back a bit. And that's actually a nice actual photo of the actual coin. So if we go back, yeah, probably very fine condition, fine to very fine, and $15. So then we have a drop one. So there's a drop one there. $20 free postage. Another coin. That's the normal one. $15. Got a group of 3. And has one drop one, 2 normal. So that's $30, $10 each. And if we have a look at the actual, you can see these actually have the drop one. So it's actually hard to get a normal one for a 1931 halfpenny. So here's another one. This has the normal one. Okay, this one has the drop one. No, best offer, so I'm not too sure how much that was. $18.50 for a normal coin. $15 for, oh, it looks like a, yeah, the drop one, halfpenny. And on and on and on. So between $10 and $20 you'll be paying for a normal one. Probably about $20 for a drop one that I can see. Between 15 and 20. So here's another drop one. Normal one, $15, $16. Drop one, $29. Very fine. Here we have one. Uncirculated detail. So let's have a look. $181. So here we actually have the information. So this is the actual normal penny. And you actually see it has mint luster. So it's actually quite a nice coin to actually get. So there's another one that sold for $10. So a better version you can get. Drop one. Very fine condition. So you can see the actual diamonds and pearls. So it's actually pretty good. But it has damage here. So people generally don't want a coin with actually rim damage. Even if it's quite cheap. So here we have another coin. This sold for $91. And as you can see, it's probably in EF condition. So about half the price of the uncirculated. It has a lot of patina. Nice coin. You can see the actual, the metal starting to deteriorate there. And this side looks pretty nice. So maybe has some wear there. So maybe not exactly EF. Getting close towards the actual VF condition. But he actually does put details of the crown. And it's only lightly worn. So that's actually a very good coin. Although quite expensive. So then I go down. As you can see, these are actually not rare. So you can get them for $5. $5 for a normal coin. Just shop around. See what's actually out there. Here we have a drop one. But I see that it's actually a problem. Like people like to buy stuff for low price. But then they like to sell it for high price. But if everyone's buying it for low price, then you're not going to sell it for a high price. So yeah, see, it just continues on. So it's 185 results. It's probably more than that. And here is an actual coin. It's supposed to be Indian obverse. So they only have the one image. So yeah, and lines up with the identical. So that's pretty good. But you can actually see the image if you actually put this PCGS and put that number into it. You should actually come across it. So the last coin I want to show you is this one. So this one's actually shown a different way you can actually see. So you got the A and L, and A lined up with identicals, and the L lined up with the actual in between identicals. And if you can see, this one is a London because the N lines up in between identicals, and it is a normal 1931. So I need to check that to see if the alignment of these, the end of Australia, and see if there's actually a difference. We can actually do that now. So the actual first coin that we have is identical. It lines up with identical. In between identical. In between. So that is a difference. Okay, the next coin that we have. So identical. In between. Nothing. Identical. So these are two different varieties. Okay, so that's not a drop one. So that's not a drop one. Let's have a look at a normal one. Drop one. identical, identical, in between, and in between. So the same as this actual coin. Identical, identical, in between, and in between. Okay. Okay, identical, identical, in between, in between. Okay, let's have a look at these last two. Identical, identical, in between, in between. And this one here is the same. So that's something I just learnt then. So we have the drop one and the normal. So those two different varieties. And what we are looking at here is, so this is identical, identical, so it's in between, identical, in between, identical, identical, and in between. So this is another indication that the drop one is definitely deliberate. It's probably made from, I would say, is that the one is punched in after the actual coin die has been made. So they probably have a master die that they use for 1930s, but they left the last numeral off and they punched in the one afterwards. That's why you have differences in the ALIA of Australia, because the actual number of denticles is actually different. So I need to actually look that up. So that's another variety you should actually find, where the drop one or the normal one has, you know, the actual lettering lined up or separated from the actual denticles. Anyway, this video is getting long, and I'll leave the use to actually look at what 1931 pennies you actually have. And I hope this video was informative. And I'll leave some links down below to eBay so you can see what for 1931 pennies you can actually find. And have an awesome coin and banknote collecting time. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.